Well, hello, dudes, and good morning. So, yeah, last time I kind of left this in the middle of a fight, then I kind of was considering just to go ahead and finish it, and then decided, screw it, maybe I won't. So this guy needs like one shot left. That's about it. Because, yeah, Beagle, not terribly threatening is the thing. There we go, goodbye. Doesn't tend to be very threatening ever, really. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that uses them to test things. Or at least they used him to test things. Yeah, I don't really play a whole lot of LR these days, to be totally honest. Like, this is the first time I've actually picked it up in months, because, you know, it's just not... I don't know. It's got issues. It's definitely better for the multiplayer than it doesn't really do. Alright, so, Mr. Gabe, Mr. Bad News... Another one of those kind of meme-worthy ACs. Probably not going to be too much of a threat here, but we'll see. I'm just going to stick to the hands here because I want to stick to a good elevation because he's going to be moving around a fair bit. Is he stuck? Not sure what happened there. Anyway, yeah, the thing is, a lot of the ACs I'm starting to feel like are just they don't know what to do if there's no lockbox for them to work off of. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, saw Royal's thing last night here. He was using the starch diet, and yeah, that turned out pretty surprisingly well. Like, I was actually expecting when you... Like, I'm assuming you're going to see this, but I was assuming when you said, like, oh, you need to get good with those things, there was, like, sniping from far away or anything, but no, it was, like, active, proper rocketeering, so I don't know. That was really good. Like, that's the way it's done for midweights anyway. Like, obviously it's going to function differently for different weight classes. Like, I think it was Celtic. It was either Celtic or Darkslayer that did the whole thing of just building a wall and sitting atop it while charging forward with large rockets. I mean, that's obviously a little bit of a different story, but still. You know, that's gonna function a little bit different than, you know, I'm just gonna call it rocketeering because it's basically just this, you know, it's like where you're hopping around and actively evading and have to do all that kind of thing. And it's definitely far more necessary in something like LR, for example, wherein, you know, a single overheat could potentially get you completely screwed over, and where you can't really afford to take end damage and all that sort of thing. So, alright, hopefully the sound is also coming off decent. Because, yeah, never know with all this sound mixing shenaniganry. Is he on shots or something? He very well might be. But yeah, most of this is just like, you approximate where they are and chuck a big old heaping helping of pew-pew in that direction. I feel. Huh, alright. Child has a hold of some stuff I thought was supposed to be, well, we had picked up some Christmas gifts for some folks, and, yeah, I thought I'd put them away well enough, but she keeps finding them. Doesn't even know what Christmas is yet, and still keeps finding him. It's funny like that. But yeah, Gabe Glow, for example, how many people had trouble with him, you know? Just with a normal AC or whatever else, he will just repeatedly overheat you and that sort of thing. Yet in that instance, he seemed like he was brain dead. So let's see how Nexus Evangel does. I love how they just call it the Aqua Hole. Call it the Cave or something, you know? Why is it the Aqua Hole? Alright. Oh, hi there, child. Yeah, I totally need some cocoa and shea butter, baby creamy oil. Yep. That's totally what I need right now. Gotta get my moisturization on. Alright. Let's go, you hovering douche. And now you've brought me Vaseline. Okay, child, are you saying I'm dry or something? Because I don't know what to make of that. Okay, something's telling me he's gonna take a little bit of a different approach if he's never gonna land. Alright, well, he does land anyway. Man, this guy's annoying. And I think that's pretty much what makes LR a really unpleasant to play sometimes. So that whole thing of, oh, I'm so cool, I can cheat, I have like all the energy, and I just never run out of it because I'm the coolest, and I got like all this resistance to everything, and I can't overheat because I'm the greatest. kind of thing, and yeah. It's like, it's not... Well, I do see an opportunity for exploit here. So that's fine, we'll do that. Because, yeah, regular snipes aren't quite doing it with these different elevations. So expect, with some of these, definitely expect to see a good bit of this, by the way, where I'm just kind of just seeing what they're up to. Because they actually do all act differently. Let's go ahead and drop one of these here, so they're not redoing this a billion times. A little bit faster. But anyway, so, seeing opportunities for exploits here. Alright, didn't mean to eat that. But he sure does love his blade. So if I can get him into a blading AI, it might be similar to last time. Might be able to potentially do a stun lock type situation. Or... yeah, you know what? That could work. Because he does get into a little bit of a thing there. It's workable. And yeah, I do have the sound turned off for this one, by the way. I just really don't like the sound of the linear gun. Just like the... yeah, it gets really annoying after a while. Yeah, you might be able to tell. I'm just annoyed by a lot of things with LR. So, and yes, that is why I decided to do this ridiculous challenge here. Because, you know, honestly, every time I've had any annoyance with any one of these games, doing a challenge run of it always made me like it better. So far that hasn't quite happened with LR, but who knows. Anyway. Took a good chunk out of him. If I had, yeah, this is workable. This is doable. Need to do a similar pattern to that. Okay, do your larges. Similar pattern to that, break his legs. Done deal. Nope, didn't quite land yet. Nope. And got blue landed right there. I'm just gonna call that blue landing. And blue balled on the landing. I land, I know you're gonna land, you douche. And closer. And closer. And closer until suddenly his legs magically break. It's a magic called rockets. And they break things super good like. And I had some weird firing delay there, which sucked. What the hell happened there? Yeah, I guess that's another thing with LR. You do get your occasional firing delays, and those are a pain. Like, sometimes it's due to weird stagger mechanics and stuff like that. There's stuff like, okay, I haven't landed, but I'm about to. They're like, no, but you can't fire yet. It's like, but I haven't landed. Too bad. Like, dang, that's just mean. Why you do this? Why you so mean? Like, but it's okay because we gave that guy a rifle with like 1 billion shots and it overheats you, but totally doesn't do anything to him because he's too cool. He's too cool for that. No, he's not. He's actually a really douchey character that's poorly written. It's like a 5-year-old's idea of what cool is. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, hello, background childrens. How are the noises? There we go. Got a couple more shots on him. As always, the rockets are just the easiest to actually land. Alright, yeah, that's... Alright, anyway. One growling gremlin later. There we go. So, if he gets into that kind of pattern, he's relatively easy to hit. Haven't quite broken his legs yet, but it's a little bit closer. There's a reason I'm not... Well, I was going to do these live, actually, but then I realized I still have a little bit of a backlog going. Well, let's start off with the mids. Go for a little bit of a low aim. See if we can't pop it out that way. And I love Deus Ex soundtrack. Honestly, anything that does this kind of techno is just in every way my jam. Oh. Come on, fire and lag. Oh yeah, so cool though. That stun. Oh man. LR devs, why'd you do this? It's like, yeah, I'm totally respecting this guy now. And I guess that's the thing, like with a lot of the other ones, like even if they were kind of janky weapons, there was still usually that thing. Like, on anything but the maybe Gen 1 Sawa and Moonlight, those were just such BS, it's not even funny, but there's, you know, when everything went well, there was still that whole thing like, oh yeah, you know, there's some legitimately cool builds, he did some legitimately cool stuff. Then when you have stuff, it's like, within the realm of everything, or within the setting established and all that, it's like, this makes no sense. The amount of stun that's like coming off of linears and things like that. Also interesting, I think if my AC has already been blown up, that last rocket didn't count because that looked like it hit right in the kneecap. And it didn't seem to do any damage. Maybe if somebody's re-watching, they can confirm that. But anyway, it's like, for example, linears, they were always like the stun weapon, but before heat mechanics, you know, it wasn't really as much of a thing. So, like, for example, in Gen 1, they were pretty awesome, but they were only a back cannon. So in this case, it feels really crappy when they're doing the same thing, except it's out of a rifle. And it's stupidly strong. Wait, did he just... Okay, I thought he ran himself into charging. Oh, we are having a tantrum spiral. Hell yes. Alright, let's see if that sorts itself out. Otherwise, I might have to be right back. Might be thinking, hey, why don't you go deal with that right away? That is not how parenting works. Because if you go and immediately respond to every single thing, they will immediately know, oh yes, I can abuse the hell out of this. And if you know anything about kids, yeah, no, if they can abuse something, they will. So yeah, rule one of parenting, always observe first. And then, once they realize, hey, this isn't getting me what I want, they don't randomly scream. I mean, they'll still do it every now and then, just to see what's up, see if it works now. Testing limits all the time and all that, but... oh well. I'll just mute it for a minute. Alright. It's like that maneuver right there would be pretty cool. It would be cool. I want it to be cool if I didn't know that he was cheating, you know? Like, if I didn't know that he was cheating, that he had infinite energy, that he had a friggin' weapon that stuns way more than it logically should. Because the thing literally does as much stun as a grenade launcher. I mean, that's just... what is that? Like I said, it's just, it feels childish when taken in context with other things. There we go. Couple more. Ah, that sucks. That would have been a pretty good run on his side, but no such luck. Fortunately, he got a little bit stuck in my frame. Excellent. More of what I'm looking for. Oh yeah? Well, thank you. I don't need this pen right now. That is my Nerf gun, thank you. And hell yes, I keep a Nerf gun on my desk. Because sometimes the cats get into stuff that they shouldn't have, and, well, that's when you gotta make sure they know not to do that. And don't worry, no, it's not like a friggin' overclocked one or whatever, which, by the way, you can apparently do. Turns out it's not actually that complicated. I was curious how to do that a while ago, but yeah, no. It's just like old dinky dart gun. You just basically plop in their general direction, they're like, oh, that goes farther than a water bottle. Okay, good to know. Okay, why are his legs not broken yet? They very well might be, actually. Can't tell. Because of the ridiculous amount of effects on the screen. Oh my god. I hate that thing so much. Ah, it's so annoying. Oh, hi. Thank you for a picture frame. Where did you get this? Alright. There you go. But yeah, it's just annoying not being able to see, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, it stuns, it blinds, it overheats, it does everything. It's so fair. Aw, that sucks. That was so close that time, and he actually would have exploded from that last bit, too. Alright, do your missiles, and I did not avoid them super good, like. Oh my god, dude, land at some point! This is... yeah, no, hang on, we're doing... Sorry. I'm salty about that one, I'm not gonna lie. It's such BS. Like, I got infinite energy for days, just flying, keep you in laser beams and flying up in the sky forever. Evangel is such a dick. Child, I do not need this pie. Thank you, though. Like random pie dog toy. It's like, you will be entertained by this pie. Now the dog's playing with it and she loves it. Yep, dodge that. A little bit of jukes, but that's not going to be enough. I need some DPS race going on right now, and... ruined, because that was a snipe, and it was all great-like, and then it got blocked by the thingy. Aw, I'm not sniping as good as last time. That's disappointing. That was such a good run, too. It's gonna be one of those where I can't hit him again now, isn't it? I mean, screw it, I'm not taking out any attempts. We're just... People wanted arena, they're getting arena. This is the legit arena experience. Of, like... friggin' this guy. Being this guy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That stun, it's so satisfying. I feel this is so balanced right now. Like broken weapons on a cheating guy. Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Like, I heard an argument a while ago that it wasn't broken, which... I don't know. Like, here's the thing. In some contexts, it wouldn't be, but if they just picked one thing, it would have been fine. Like, if it was just the heat gun, that makes sense. It explodes into, like, a big old fireball, and it makes sense, you know? Have a space for a heat rifle, that makes sense. It doesn't need to have the impact force of a frickin' train, and it doesn't really need to blind you and make the entire screen go blank either. I mean, that's just annoying and possibly causes some seizures in some people. But anyway. I need more coffee. Ah! Drop it. Right now! Drop it! Excuse me? Go to your bed. Dog. Don't wish. Start off with the handy stuff. Ooh. Oh man, that's so annoying. This guy is frustrating for all the wrong reasons. I don't feel challenged, I feel pissed off. No. Before anyone says, I'm not actually that salty. My threshold for getting actually, like, fully can't do this anymore annoyed is absurdly high. Because I was raised by a drunk, yeah! Alright. You want to go ahead and maybe not, like, be super douchey? That'd be great. Cool, thanks. Alright. What I do need to do, though, is not suck so much. There we go. Like, as soon as I get one, you know? Kinda getting it. Oh my goodness. Now that, though, will not stand. Give me a moment. Well, hello again. Hopefully you made the correct decision and skipped forward a couple minutes, in which case, hello from the future. Okay. This guy's the perfect storm of messing with anyone using rockets. Let's try something real quick. Actually, no, wait, I've tried this strategy before. I was gonna just sit there, which doesn't work so hot. I've actually tried that before, and he just basically flies up and down forever, and it's really annoying. Then you don't. It's just nothing gets done. Anyway, seems like the best bet is if I get far away enough, he will just kind of decide to go at a relatively flat level type of flight pattern. See if we can make that happen again. Because that seemed like that's what happened that one time. Alright. But yeah, so, like I was saying, perfect storm of messing with anybody using rockets. Mostly because, yeah, he stuns, he blinds, he flies. He's like all three things that suck to deal with these things. Which is fair. Again, I knew going into this thing that would be a constant problem. It's a little bit frustrating at times, but, you know, gotta do it right. And yeah, I realize that my aim is a little bit inconsistent at times. Mostly because sometimes I'll just be super snipey, other times it'll miss, but again, it's all kind of reaction, so it's just however it wants to work. And we're getting stun locked again, great. What I would like to know is who in the dev team thought that the best place for stun is like if you're standing still, you get like 3 times as much stun for some reason, and that makes no sense. Like, if you've ever done stance testing or ever done any kind of hand-to-hand fighting, whatever, you have way more stability standing still than you do moving, so that whole thing is complete nonsense. Anyway. Actually, yeah, while moving, you're far more likely to be knocked off balance. And come to think of it, they kept that same thing going through the Souls series, too. Well, with exception to counter hits, I guess. There was kind of like a low-key counter hit system in AC, just like in 5th gen, but eh. One of them dealers. You. Done. Alright, now what do we want to do here? I'm gonna do all that sort of thing. What I want to do is probably switch over to the mids. Keep going with those until I can at least get a couple of hits on him. It seems to mess with his AI or something. I'm not sure why he behaves differently. What's that all about? And I wouldn't put it past them to put that in his AI, but it feels a little too advanced for LR. Maybe it's just a mental thing of kind of getting honed in on where he is. Or where he's gonna be. Alright, didn't exactly dodge that right. Now that I think about it, why are these so much... The weird wiggle trick doesn't seem to apply to those missiles. Yeah, similar type situation here. Alright, buddy. Pal, definitely not friend. Can you maybe... There we go. Maybe it's as soon as he blades he ends up going to a different pattern. That's also a possibility. Alright, because then as soon as he does that, I can switch over to the larges and get some actual damage in. If I don't get stun locked, of course. Which I'm doing great at. I hate that rifle so much. It's nonsense. Like, realistically, what it should have had is 30 shots. Compared with everything else that's got really heavy stun potential, it should have had about 30, maybe 35 shots. Because previously, the way that it was balanced in Nexus was mostly because you're still dealing with MTs, and you really don't have that many, you know, extensive fighting situations in LR. Not to mention almost everything else got nerfed completely into the ground as far as ammo is concerned. It seems really weird that the linear rifle of all things, OP as it friggin' is, like, absolutely loved by people doing PvP and stuff, and just general OP weapons, that it got no nerf and seemingly even got boosted. Like, why? Hi, pal! This is... yeah, that's cool, too. His rifle stuns more than my rockets. I just want to point that out. What it is, it's basically... it's supposed to be the mid-ground between a pistol and a rifle as far as AC is concerned. Like, the pistols are supposed to be the stun thing, but they don't do much damage, and rifles do consistent long-range damage, but they don't really stun too much. Usually. That ended up changing, obviously, like in SL, it was pretty ridiculous. But, that being said, I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like there's really no reason not to use that thing. Like, other than its weight, but even still, it's worth the wait. Like, look at this stupidity. It's got a friggin' massive hitbox. It stuns like crazy. It's just demoralizingly crappy. Alright, anyway. Moving on, though. No one's got time for demoralization. What in the crap are you cats doing? Little kitten's getting owned. There we go. Sweet blade you got there. Should continue trying to use it. There's another one, and land eventually. Okay, didn't turn enough that time. At least hit one of them there. Yeah, it's funny. This kind of makes you appreciate the whole like XCOM 2 aim thing. Like where you see somebody suddenly adjust their aim at the last second and then completely whiff a shot. Like, yeah, okay, I understand exactly how that's happening now. Man, I'd appreciate blowing his arm off. This sounds really nefarious out of context. Like, end up getting in legal trouble or something down the line. It's like, I see here, and then there's a recording of you saying you'd appreciate blowing somebody's arm off. Like, well, you see... about that. Ah, dang it. Alright. Do it again. You and... miss. Miss. No, I can't be the only one that ends up hearing that Fire Emblem miss sound every time for that. Ah, I hate this block in the middle. Why you gotta do that? How many times have I been blue rocketed? Because I keep firing at that thing. Alright. It seems like we've got a good AI pattern. Excellent. We're on the AP lead. Alright, dude. Get out my anus, please. With your infinite energy nonsense. No, don't hardland. Why am I losing friggin' control for 45 minutes? The entire computer needs to reset, apparently. Someone needs to put in, like, if there's ever mods for this, somebody needs to take the the hard landing sound for LR, and then just like put in the Windows restart noise, just like as soon as you hard land, just doo 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 doo. Like, I'm sorry, your AC must restart. Oh, douche. Douche. Oh boy. I just heard some Cheerios spill. Sounds like I'm in for a bit of a pleasant cleaning later. Oh no, and we... oh boy. Alrighty, that was ridiculous. Anyway. Yeah, gotta love that old situation. So yeah, I know I was mentioning it earlier, but yeah. Always, always, always just gotta sit and observe when it comes to kids. It's always kind of the same thing, like, just like, oh, Scream once, one person decided that they wanted to go and give me more attention. I'm gonna do this all the time now. Okay. This is seemingly possible. If he would ever run out of that rifle, of course, that would definitely help. It's like the one thing they tried to do to balance that thing is give it a special lockbox, but even then, you know, it's like, it's got plenty. It's got absolutely plenty of stuff to work with. Even double linears are surprisingly viable. It's funny because I used to actually subscribe to that whole thing of like, oh yeah, no, it's got a special box, so therefore it makes it absolutely useless, and oh my god, it's not very good. No. It's perfectly fine, and still on the OP side. Which, granted, in this case, I've personally made a challenge for myself, so it's always going to be this way no matter what, but it sure would be great if he would ever run out of shots, you know. Just, it feels douchey. Alright. Juke, juke, juke. I'm pretty sure he's got it, yeah. It was bound to happen eventually. Alright, let's see if we can do a little better this time. Alright, a little bit too slow. Bad predict on that one. A little too far left on that one. Another bad predict. And stunned out of my turn. Tad too high. Yeah, there's just a factor in every single one of these, ain't it? dodge those. Almost got him on that one. There we go. There's one, but unfortunately it's a torso hit. I need leg hits. If I can get some solid leg hits, at least it'll slow him down. But yeah, I would need probably like 12 larges to be able to actually finish him off, using just those. One thing I really wish existed was something to just turn off the AI, so that I'd be able to test more stuff. I've always wanted to be able to test more, features and stuff like that, which you can do in multiplayer, granted, at least on the PS2 version. So I can't, but I know Cow's done some pretty interesting tests on those. Might break out the PS2 again at some point. Actually, I'm a little worried that mine's broken, because recently I went and tried to do some Master of Arena testing for a guy, and it didn't really want to run, so I ended up having to just get a ROM. Oh, dang it, not again. What are we crying about now? Alrighty, noise has ceased. Moving on. It's an annoying time when that happens. Alright, what else are we doing here? Currently losing. As you. Definitely gonna be one of the more annoying ones. Really, it was this one and really Toothpick that I was most worried about. They're the two that are really the most douchey for the reasons that affect rockets the most. Like, for example, 9-Ball, annoying, but very, very fragile. Whereas this guy is reasonably durable, has the thing that blinds and stuns, which granted, 9-Ball has that stupid thing too, but still. Actually, Damon does too. Yeah, no, they totally didn't know it was an OP weapon, you guys. Totally didn't know. I just wish I knew who it was on the dev team. It was like, yeah, we gotta make everybody cheat. Because obviously, I mean, it's a limitation of their AI, but it's just, it wound up being a lazy thing. Because what... Okay, so it should be a given. It should be pretty freaking obvious. But, if you didn't know, yeah, every time that they've employed OPI in any manner, human plus, OPI, whatever it happens to be, it was always for the same purpose of they can't be bothered to program the AI right. And yeah, they ultimately figured out a way around this in 4th gen by just basically not allowing the charging state. So if it wasn't for the charging state, we basically would likely not have to deal with this BS. Because, they would just be back to normal. But now, honestly, if somebody's doing a mod or remake or whatever of the series at some point, I really hope that they remove the charging state. Because as much as it's a novel idea, removing it really was one of the better decisions of the series. Because it just doesn't really add much, is the thing. Like, it punishes you for running out, but the thing is, the AI won't have that problem. They'll either be programmed not to do it at all, or, it'll just be a completely one-way street. And or they'll have to implement OPI, which... Again, it would have been as simple as letting the thing think of more than one thing at a time. So, for example, if they use an MG weapon and a blade and boost at the same time, it's unable to calculate those. That was likely the problem that caused them to put it in the first place. At least in Formula Front, that's always the problem that keeps coming up. So the whole reason that you'd want to give them infinite energy is to make sure that they don't end up screwing themselves, because they can only think of one thing at once. What kind of weird music is this? Thank you, Mr. Hovering Wraith Ghost, piece of crap. What are you doing? It's like hovering just out of range of my rockets. Meh. I hate this build so much. Even on a normal run. Even on a normal run, but this time especially. Actually, if you ever want to get some sweet revenge on this guy, he really sucks against missiles, so you can come back with quad nukes. Just wreck his day. Alright. I was a little bit slow on that one, so that's my fault. Yeah, I can already see where this is going. Alright, Pally, come on. There you go, there's one. There's two. There's three. A little bit off, that could have been four. Nope. He hadn't bladed there. I think he bladed. Moved forward really fast. Those seem like they passed right through him. Which will also happen. But still. Oh well, give it enough tries. Monkeys and typewriters and all that. And potatoes and landing douchebags that refuse to land. Where did my lefties go? Great. Clear away my lefties. Yep. Time to get evasive. Do the Zenaida turn, as I'm going to call it. Just because it basically Zenaida's whole fight just revolved around doing this a whole bunch. I'm gonna think of it. I wonder if this level is supposed to be reminiscent. No, 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 don't, no. God, controls derp out for a second and end up landing weird. So yeah, to the couple folks that were asking this morning as far as why I wasn't doing this whole thing live is because of that kind of stuff. Occasionally just janks out. It's like, oh, you're just not gonna move for a minute. Because control stick is all old and dead, and I think my daughter might have dipped it in the dog's water bowl. It's possible. It was weirdly soaked one day. Who knows? Anyway. Alright. Missed that one. Come on! Stop doing that. It's like after extended use, it's just like, no, I'm done now. Hey, by the way, so I've gone through, like, way too many rockets by this point. You think you might be done with that thing yet? No? Because it's infinite, you say? I think it was... Hang on, was it reduced to 50 or is it still like 80 or some crap? When I eventually lose this, I'm gonna have to take a look at the replay just to double check that. Because the BS of this thing never ends. So balanced. So balanced. This thing that takes ridiculous amounts of maneuvering to actually use. Easily overpowered by something that doesn't. Oh, come on now. And if he uses just his EOs, I might have a chance here, but I'm pretty sure he's not gonna. One of them clipped me. Okay, what's going on with this? I can't do my little turns here. Keeps not moving. I think I might actually have to find that other controller. Please throw your rifle away. Please. Such crap. Yeah, go figure. Now let's go see. Does it have like 50 jillion shots? Yes, view replay. Yeah, 80. Some jackhole decided it needs 80. What's wrong with 50? It's like 35 would be enough. You need... No, we need 80. It's their care. They like to curse so, but it's all solid, so we can use it without making them worry about energy. Oh wait, but we're giving them infinite stuff anyway. Never get the feeling like they just want any excuse to put that design on a rifle. There we go. Got 2 on him. Three. Land, you dick. I'm legitimately more annoyed at this guy than Zenaida. You know, with Zenaida, at least it's like, it's a last boss. This guy is just mid-tier in the arena. And a recycled design, for that matter. Of one of the douchiest characters in the series. The actual douchiest, probably... I think it goes to whoever it is. There, in ACAA, there's 2 ACs that show up in a hallway, and one of them has a Human Plus on him. And, like, a DPS race is the only way you're winning that, because he's, like, a heavyweight that just endlessly flies stupidly fast. So it's, like, literally to the point where it's just a DPS race against a heavy with infinite energy and infinite speed. And it's really annoying, because the Sao was about the only way to do it. Because I went there with the 1000 MG, dodging everything for ages, and it's like, no. He's still perfectly fine, he can catch up with you with pretty much anything you've got. Right. Realistically, what I should do is just stop this right now. Give it a little bit of a pause. I'm back once I've had a second to digest this fight a little bit. Because that does actually help. Like, honestly, a good bit of the time, I usually end up doing a round like this for a bit, and then I end up coming back to it. Because as soon as you give your mind some time to digest everything, you just kind of instinctualize it a bit. So it's always very handy if you ever want to learn anything. Which is weird considering, you know, I know all these ways of learning things, doing things, and everything else, but generally I'm still regarded as a bit of an idiot. That being said, it's largely because of stuff beyond my control, so that's a long story. They're like, why don't you make more money or got a better job or some such? Well, it's called I have a lunatic parent, and they ruined a bunch of stuff for me. Great! And so that makes it very difficult to do a lot of things. I gotta go through a lot of hoops to even accomplish the most basic of tasks. Anyway, that's an annoying thing. Annoying technicality, and just a generally sucky time, which I hopefully am on the cusp of fixing, maybe. Unless even more hoops show up, which they always do. Alright. I would love for this douche to be gone. Oh, but I'm sorry, he can go super fast with his legs broken. I think his legs are broken. I don't know, I'm not about to turn on the sounds, because I don't want to hear the sound of that thing. You. And he resists shell like a mofo. Funnily enough, I think our defenses are about even, though. I mean, really, this fight seems like it's coming down to 1 or 2 larges at the very start here. So if I can land maybe 4 of them, seems like that should be enough for me to catch up within a reasonable amount of time. Because after he's done with his retarded hovering phase, then I can kind of do it that way. It's literally just coming down to how much he hovers. And if I aim up, he'll just land, by the way. If you're ever wondering like why I don't go out of my way to try and hover, it's not worth the adjustment time. Like, you can do it that way, but hell, even friggin' Superfleet didn't want to do it that way, so that should tell you something. Go, a little bit. That wasn't one of the largest that hit, by the way. That one whiffed. Oh, we're having the pretending to choke thing going on in the background. Also fun. Babies. They find the most disturbing ways to try and get more attention. And, you know that stereotypical parent where they're like, oh, look, I gotta be on the babies all the time and make sure everything's all super great with them all the time and baby them all the time. That's how douchebags are born. Because then, they want more. Babies are, weirdly enough, kind of like built in with an addictive personality in a way. It's like, anything you do, they want more of. Alright. Probably sounds super nefarious now that I think about it. It's not. I love my babbins. Anytime that I'm working, my little dude's always on my lap. Little lady's always running around. Oh man, this is gonna... Oof. I hope I don't have to scrap this part, because dang. I hate that rifle so much. It's such a load of bullcrap. Seriously, somebody needs to count up, like, how many rockets is he taking compared to how many shots from that rifle? It's like, he's lancing this stuff like nothing. Bear in mind, lightweight arms on that thing. So it's not even like it's that different of a thing. He's got a kind of lighter armor mid-core. That's the EO core. Head, you know, the defenses on that pretty much never matter unless you're using something like the Crust. Similar defense on the legs, and then similar lightweight arms. And I've got shields on top of it. And just like, no, I just punched through all that, which some of it might be the EOs. They do seem to take about 200 a shot, but that thing is still, like, about doing the same. Yeah, it's like 250, give or take. Still feels like it's doing pretty similar to this thing, which is supposedly... Let's see, I think the linear is supposedly like 680 on damage, something like that. Whereas these are supposed to be around 1500. And yet they still do pretty similar amounts. I feel like I'm getting closer. Not as close as that one time, mind you. But, either way. Just coming down to these larges. If you're wondering why I'm not resetting the moment I miss a bunch of larges, it's kind of like a weird mental thing that you don't really want to do that if you're doing any kind of running of anything. Because it'll just cause you to get instantly burned out because you get frustrated from doing the exact same thing over and over. But you get some more time to observe while doing this kind of stuff too. Alright, screwed up that one. And he's behind me, he didn't do the turn I was expecting him to. Yeah, those kind of back turns work very effectively, but only if you end up predicting it right. Otherwise you just end up getting shot in the back. Alright, missed again. Dang. Yeah, this one's just not going great. As long as he doesn't do the hoppy thing, you know? That's pretty much what decides whether or not one of these runs is viable. Whether or not he decides to hover forever and just cheap shot me from a place I can't really reach him. Such a bizarre design decision, though. It's like, why do you need the charging state so badly? They sacrifice the function of your AI for that. Anyway, interesting note, by the way. There was an interview they did a little while ago, just kind of explaining why they stopped making AC for a while. And, you know, it's funny because it seems like the series was just woefully unlucky on top of the fact that they just never bothered to listen to their Western audience. It's like, you know how 5th gen happened? It's like, okay, so they knew fans wanted, you know, some more and bigger stuff for next gen stuff as soon as 4th gen hit. But then, sorry, I gotta adjust my headset a little. As soon as they got to 5th, they're like, oh yeah, no, we gotta pull in that Western audience, and apparently that's why they went for the everything is brown now look, except they kind of missed the brown fad by a few years, and yeah. Then they kind of forgot to advertise it here. They're like, why didn't it do well? Well, you put out, like, a trailer, and that was it. Like, nobody friggin' heard of it. That's kind of the problem. Actually making sure that somebody's heard of your dang thing might help to, you know, boost sales. Hang on one moment, this. Well, crap. Apparently, I made the mistake of knocking my coffee straight onto my keyboard. Which also has key bindings for all this stuff, which also means that it apparently hit the one for the start button. Anyway. There we go, there's one. Is that 2? No, it isn't. Could be 3 right here. No, it won't be. You know why? Because he can hover forever. You can hover forever, what a dick. When he tried to tell me once that this guy wasn't OPI, you've got to be frickin' kidding me. No, he absolutely is. Like, no, he's totally fair, he's doing that legit. No, he isn't. I don't know that guy anymore. Don't really mind. Like, there was this, yeah, long story short, there was a guy a while back, didn't really stick around for very long, but seemed to have a bunch of really weird opinions on the series for some reason. Where he's just like, ridiculous fanboy of this exact thing right here. Like, oh, it's the only way to make sure everything's all super hardcore and everything. No, it isn't. This is how you make it annoying. It's like, it's possible. That doesn't mean it's fun. Doesn't mean anything's actually learned from this. Like, what am I learning here exactly? Like, just waiting for this guy to land the game. Not really doing anything particularly impressive or tricky or whatever, I'm just waiting. Like sniping him in the foot when he lands. And largely it's coming down to RNG and what he decides to do at any given time, because, I mean, I can't really control the fight in any manner. Like, oh, but that's my favorite though. That's the only way to do it. That's how you know they're the coolest, and I'm pretty sure they might have been 5. It's very possible. Insulting people I don't know anymore. What? I mean, if you're just gonna sit there, he was doing the royal jiggle. But yeah, no, it's not great. The hovering thing, like, it's cool in 4th gen where everybody can do it. I'm just never a fan of when there's a, you know, what could be best described as like a fighting game or just like a one-on-one type situation, and then you have one side that just can do stuff that completely breaks the balance of the whole thing. It's not cool, it's not fun, it's stupid. Somebody couldn't be bothered to program the AI, so they made it cheat. And it's very rare that that sort of thing actually works out well. Like, for example, it works out in stuff like, say, you know, Resident Evil or like a Monster Hunter kind of thing, where you have some gigantic super beastie out of nowhere. But even then, you know, like, oh! Hang on, one more moment. Okay, and I'm back. But anyway, so, I don't know, there's this very... Oh, well, crap, screw it. I accidentally threw away my stuff. So there's this very non-constructive thing that often happens. Like, here's this very awful design thing. Like, no, get good, though. And, you know, it I should say, it kind of sort of worked in something like Dark Souls, for example. The only reason it did was simply because the same thing. There's no charging mechanic. Like, if you drop stamina past 0, it takes a second to come back, but it's a second. Like, you can predict that. Something has higher health, but that doesn't mean it's immune to certain things. Almost everything has, different actual values for... Oh, wow. We're getting loud in the background here. Has actual, like, effective values against certain things. Like, oh my goodness. Not this. One moment. That's no fun. We've got to do the loud yelping. I mean, screw it. This part's gonna be stupid long. Such is life. People wanted the full arena experience. We're getting it, dang it. Plus, somebody asked to do at least one.
Open the world of music. A new music streaming service where all the ways music moves you are together in one place. Official audio and video, playlists, artist radio, live performances, covers, remixes, and the rest of the story you can't find anywhere else. It's all here.
Okay, and I'm back. Yeah, there's approximately 0% chance I'm going to remember to edit any of this, so we'll see how that works out. Here's I've got my legs chopped off. That's a bit of an inconvenience. Any even decent damage from here is just completely moot, quite frankly, because it would take so many shots to actually bring him down that it's just unrealistic. So let's go ahead and restart this crap. No, I don't even vaguely remember this music from Deus Ex. Weirdly enough, I always end up getting it mixed up with the XCOM EU soundtrack. Alright. We need to catch up a little bit, so let's go ahead and pop one of them suckers. Yeah, that's getting annoying. He's popping those out at the exact right time where I can't aim and dodge at the same time. So I'd have to kind of give up the pursuit here in order to actually nail him. And I can't really afford to do that. Which is just plain annoying. Alright. Yeah, this one's also a wash. Good to know. I hate that AI pattern so much. Why would somebody do that? You know? Why would somebody do that? By the way, just to absolutely define it here, the pattern that I'm talking about is the hover hop there, that the player cannot realistically do, for a number of reasons. For one thing, The fact that you'd have to be completely adjusting all your sights the entire time. So it's not practical in that sense. For another one, the fact that having energy to do all of that mid-air is just not realistic. So, I mean, they specifically just designed an AI pattern. Like, oh, look, they stay out of your lockbox. Oh, man, I'm so clever! And then, you know, presumably somebody just slaps that guy with a ruler because he deserves it. Anyway. Specifically a ruler. Just so they can measure how dumb that idea is. Alright. This is annoying. This is annoying. This is annoying. This is annoying. Oh well. Kind of playing it up. Whatever. I'm not that annoyed. The majority of the frustration right now comes from the fact that I keep walking into places where I shouldn't. I have to stay to the water in order to have a level area with which to hit him. So, yeah. Visual thing, wiggle, 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 and dealt with. It doesn't seem to have an exact set flight pattern for when he first lands, so I can't get a free hit. Okay, come on, land, you dick. It's so annoying. Because, yeah, the only thing that's preventing them from landing isn't... They're landing because they had to give them a chance to actually be on the ground. They have the infinite energy to keep doing that forever. That's why I'm so annoyed by it. Because it's not a mechanic, it's just a crutch. What is he doing? Completely mispredicted that. And yeah, if he decides to get in your face, he's gonna be in your face. There's no avoiding him being in your face. You'd think rockets would be one of the best stun things. I mean, it makes sense. It's their whole thing. It's just basically chucking a rock. And somebody just texted me. Oh, sweet. Well, might be seeing some more nifties coming out pretty soon. Because, sounds like there's a mod that I got approved for testing for. Nifty. Make it sound like it's actually some whole big thing. It's really not. It's literally just... I've got OBS, and there's a guy that made a mod. And he said okay. So there we go. That about sums it up. But I do have a dev thing that I'll be doing later today, which will probably be like 2 days ago as of when this comes out. Who knows? What a douche. Hi. Man, sure glad with all those heavy crap things and, you know, kind of medium frame, he's completely outspeeding me with no problem whatsoever. Which I guess isn't really a surprise, because this thing's also surprisingly heavy despite being in a relatively similar situation. The point is, he can go as fast as he wants, he can go as long as he wants. Whatever, insert Viagra joke here. But, whatever. Might be getting towards tilted here. Well, hi there. What you got for me? Oh, did you reassemble all these in the right order? Good job. Good job. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. Good job, little stuff. Alright, there's one answer here, and that is coffee. I'm curious. If I go up on his ledge, what'll happen? Sweet infinite energy, bro. That's totally legit. Oh man, what a cool guy. Do 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 do. Pew 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 pew. Get shot in the nuts. Your dick bag. What will the AI let me do? That is the question, isn't it? Oh my god. No, tiny piece of terrain. Why'd you do this to me? Okay, almost. I don't know why my lefty took a billion years to fire there. I thought I had that lined up perfect. No. Nope. My home. Land you prick hole. Okay, good. I'm just gonna throw both of those away because I don't really need either. One of them's empty, one of them is not so empty, but doesn't matter because I don't want to adjust my aim later. Oh yeah? You giveth and you taketh away, little child? It's like, I brought you this moisturizer, but it is now mine. Or baby cream stuff. No. Hucky, you don't eat that. Thank you. Good on ya. Also, I appear to have just been douched of half my APs. Okay, why did it not fire? Anyone's guess. Probably was reloading. Oh dear, my legs appear to be non-functional. Anyhow, they still function, just crappy now. Oh, you prick! Why would anyone give this guy infinite ammo? But really though, like, real talk. Balance logic-wise, why would anybody do that? It makes no sense. Other than, like, they wanted people to hate this thing. I will say, From does have a bad habit of doing, like, form over function a lot of times. When it comes to their favorite crap, but man. Like, it looks cool, you gotta be super great. Looks like a big old cannon gun thing. Gotta make it way too good. Actually, it's funny. So I was mentioning the whole Master Arena testing thing recently, and yeah, it's always surprising going back to those and seeing just how absolutely jacked the ML and Sawa are in that one. Like, even if you're starting from absolutely scratch, you can basically just go to the store in MOA and just like buy it immediately. You can get both of them right away with no restrictions whatsoever. And just within a couple parts, really, you can have both and sustain them both with no real issues. So at that point, there's just no challenge left whatsoever. Oh dear, he appears to have circled around the entire other side of the map, because he can adjust his speed at will. Cool. That's good. I think that's probably why they don't let you see the UI, or like the full extent of the UI on their side, because then you could probably confirm that with numbers. Just like the extent to which they can adjust their speed to whatever they really want it to be at the time. Oh, thanks, Larges. I definitely wanted to fire that a second late. Oh, hey, child, you practicing your jumps? That's cool stuff right there. So adorable. We started practicing jumps. He's like over here just hopping around like, oh yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. Yeah? I think you actually might have seen Mr. This guy doing jumps. He's like, I can do those too. Ah, that's adorable. I saw a very good comparison a while ago. It was like, how do you describe having kids? Like, it's a faucet that you occasionally have to fix and clean poo out of, but you can turn it on at any time to be happy. Like, well, that's a pretty good deal, actually. Like, yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Can I turn off this guy's crap faucet, though? Because there's sure a lot of it pouring out. Dude. So, yeah, as you can see, he's just suddenly decided he's faster than me, so I can't do anything now. So, yeah, now he's far away. Now it's fine. But yeah, now it's over. Dang whole aqua. More like aqua-colored a-hole. Or, okay, moving on. But yeah, Rimfire actually had a pretty similar situation too. But his wasn't really as bad because, you know, situation. Like, it was annoying, but it wasn't this level of annoying. Just because this guy stuns and does all this kind of thing so much. Zneda, again, different story because of a different situation. Just because in both those cases, you know, it was still a relatively flat-ish area. And there was still, you know, there was still stuff to exploit. Like in this case, it's just he's resistant, very resistant to these things. Funny part is, by the way, with Zen, as far as actual shots go, it took 9 larges to actually beat her. So meaning her AP was in the 9,000 range. More than likely. More than likely. I don't know if there's an actual accurate number somewhere. But either way, larges will, on most things, do approximately 1,000. So, at any rate, that means this guy is very close to her levels of bullcrap. Because he's still doing the almost exact same AI pattern. He still has his infinites, he still has, you know, a BS stun situation. And then also comes preloaded with the ability to take almost as many shots. Because based off what he's shown so far, he also takes 8 or 9 to actually finish off. Because one direct hit throws him immediately to 7,500, so take a look at that in a sec, because I'm sure I'm restarting this. If I could get lucky and blow his arm off one of these times, which is, you know, is friggin' never gonna happen, but worth a dream, then that would make this pretty much an instant win, I feel. Because I can basically dodge up to that point. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like each one does 900 to him. Specifically 907. Oh crap. Well, that was a great start. So specifically 907. So, let's see, yeah, then that should take 9 shots. So he basically takes as many rockets as ultimates in. With the same pattern, more or less. It's at least a similar one. Like, it's still predictable. He doesn't have as much vertical extreme, but his loadout is much more annoying. Because there's realistically the velocity and heat and speed and everything on that rifle is just a massive pain in the neck. Just everything about it is such crap. Balanced by a 10-year-old for 10-year-olds and only for themselves. Yeah, that was weird. That didn't even feel like that should be hitting. Huh? That matter felt like Some of mine should have been hitting. I guess it also doesn't help that I kind of have to rely on that little... It's kind of like a juke, I guess. Which is like the little sideways movement there. Since a lot of the times I have to rely on that to be able to even reliably hit him. Getting hit in the middle of that just basically means I fire into nothing. Because usually by that point I've already, mentally committed to it. Yeah. This one's also a wash. Meh. Meh, 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 meh. No. Put that back. Put it back. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Yeah, no. Let's do another one there. No, might just have to call this without a result pretty soon, because I'm almost out of time here. I certainly hope that's not the case. There we go, there's one. This one's still viable. No longer viable. Oh man. Sure, love that hitbox! This just like whips past him. Point blank. Again, look at the PS2 version, or any of the PS1 games, or really the hitboxes of the rockets in any of the games to see what I'm talking about there. Why were they so mean in this version? What did they have against a thing so crappy? The world may never know. I sure as hell don't. And I'm sure nobody else will bother. Yeah, I'm just getting stunned a bunch and that's it. It's just not satisfying. I hate that thing. I'm sure it's not even the make or break thing, it's just, it makes it annoying. Because realistically, there's many other factors to consider here. Just everything about that stupid linear rival. It's just... It's just annoying. Excuse me. No, where did you get this? Okay. Thanks for showing me. Yeah. Getting reduced down to more than half really quickly here. Oh, this guy sucks. But yeah, it feels like one of those moments where if I come back, I don't know, I'll just come back a little bit later. I'm sure I'll be able to do this no problem. Probably just frustrating myself over nothing. Maybe get some faster paced music going. Yeah, I've got his pattern more or less down. Just getting those really precise ones that's the problem. I guess in theory this could still be viable, but not if he does random jukes like that out of nowhere. Either be consistent or don't. Yeah, there's, like, this in-your-face thing, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I can get completely out of it, but then he just gets some free hits. I can try to get some hits while he's doing it, which is seemingly the more practical way to do it, because I can... You know, he kind of puts himself right in harm's way, but... eh. Still. Okay. Like that should have been a hit. And he didn't land, and he did. Aim a little higher for that to work. There we go. So I'm going to try a different approach here. Since he's easier to hit later, I'm going to try to start off with the mids and all that. See about maybe at least damaging his legs. Probably not breaking them. Oh, come on, you absolute dick! I hate that. I hate that so much. It's like, oh, I hate you like 5-6 times over and 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 over. You can't move, it's so funny! It's so not satisfying. Like the worst. It's just the... This is why people hate LR. The sudden, you know, we're a simulator, no wait. You know, we need to have our super shiny things in here. Oh, are you impressed yet? No. It doesn't work. You don't mesh those two things. It's like either you have your rule of cool stuff, or you do your simulator thing. You're not going to do both. It doesn't work when you do both. Come on, blow his arm off. Counter to win if I can at least get his arm off. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Rule of Cool is just basically where if you have a thing that looks cool, so they automatically make the thing work, regardless of the circumstances. It's like, for example, typically giant robots and crap automatically fall into that role. Then, you know, you've got some sort of simulatory stuff that kind of works, and that's what they started with Nexus. Typically, though, you know, this thing was kind of BS all throughout it, but it wasn't exactly as prevalent in Nexus. Just where you have multiple complete a-holes using it very prevalently in this one, that's where it gets annoying. It's such crap. It's such crap. Because if you, like, it... Okay, it's funny because it applies to... And by the way, there's that, like, refusing to fire while standing still thing I was mentioning earlier. But anyway, it's funny because it's one of the rules that comes to fist fights and stuff like that, or specifically like realistic fighting and all that, less so than a lot of martial arts. But the general rule is who hits first hits twice. Because the idea is that somebody will be able to automatically follow up with a second hit if they got the first one in, which is very true. But it's kind of the same way with that thing, where it's like if they hit once, they automatically get a free second one. Thing is, it's not inherently like just broken by itself. It's the fact that it's always on OPI stuff. Same thing with a Silky, actually. Like, by itself, utter garbage. Put it on an OPI, it's ridiculous. Because the thing has just crazy defense, or crazy offense against a defense type that people generally don't have. Which is why, for example, Damon is crazy strong, because he's essentially abusing all the mechanics at once. Child, why are you sticking your finger down your throat? You're not bulimic. But so that's more or less what's happening with this thing. Like, it's not inherently broken, it's the fact that somebody's flying around like a douchebag and can completely ignore weight limitations and everything else. Because its main limiting factor is that weight, and if they can just ignore it, you know, ignore it and just not be affected by it in any meaningful way whatsoever, then what does it even matter? Yeah. Would love to say that magically I'll just pull this out here, but ain't gonna happen. See, like, if I could get to that phase while still having some larges, then it'd be fine. It's just not realistic. I have to pull out the best dodges ever to pull that off. I mean, the best I've pulled off so far is a tie, so at least that's something. If you're wondering where was that tie, relatively early on, there was that one that got him to 800, and then he rolled up, and then you could see he was sparking at the very last frame of that thing. So the explosion, that was enough to actually knock him out. But unfortunately, that doesn't count, so... I hate that thing. It's like I'm just getting punched around. I can't even aim with that stupid thing hitting me. Child, give that over. Let me see it. It's okay. Right. Well, I've got time for maybe a couple more attempts after this inevitably fails. But yeah, this might have to be the first one without any actual success in it. After this, though, it's pretty much smooth sailing. Because realistically... realistically, none of the others should give as much trouble as this guy. Even Damon. He should have landed there, but he didn't. Because he's a load of crap. Nice music, anyway. I'm getting some hits in, but nothing too meaningful here. Not gonna be enough to really tilt it. Oh, and he's decided he's fast now, so... Good on you, buddy! You can just decide to be fast whenever you want to be. Man, it's such good programming, though. I'm gonna make him go be as fast as I want him to be. That's how I made a balancing. Screw actual, you know, mechanics that have been around for like a friggin' decade at this point. No! No, we gotta make Mr. Blue Man all cool-like, cause he's the mascot. Oh yeah. So special, he's trying super hard. That made his machine get superpowers. I love how that's the logic with Zaneta there. Like, she just tried so hard that her machine, despite clearly exploding, got friggin' superpowers. But I guess that's one time where maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of a, you know, cool thing that only came back in 5th gen, which was just like somebody legitimately going in and trying to overclock their AC in some retarded manner. Which is cool. Like, I like that idea. And I wish it was a mechanic, but no, instead it's a, you know, they showed up sparking, and that's it, kind of thing. Like in oh, you absolute douche, come on! Like, I'm gonna stay in the sky and keep firing down. Yeah, now I am getting kind of frustrated. Anyway, so yeah, no, it'll just stay in the sky forever. Keep being a douche. Alright, anyway, so. Yes, I know, I'm being a baby about it. Sorry, kiddo. So, what I was getting at, it's like they actually have an overclocking feature there, where you just basically repeatedly end up burning out your AC and burn out your generator and end up taking a whole bunch of damage and everything, but you can use all kinds of crap that you couldn't normally use. Which is cool, though. Like, that's a really cool way to do it, and something that should have been there, you know? Also, if I hadn't been completely donkey punched into oblivion here, I probably would have been able to turn that situation into a win. Anyway, so yeah, like if they did that where you had some version of like the limit release from AC2, right? And there was just like some code that you put in, like you could do OPI temporarily, but you end up burning AP the entire time. That'd be awesome. You know, that would be a legitimately useful thing. It's like, then you'd have to go turn it off, so you stop overclocking your thing, and you'd probably run immediately into charging. Like, that would work. That would be really cool, actually. But, you know, instead we have this crap right here. Then, you know, you'd have certain builds where it's like maybe you could potentially sacrifice, like, let's say, a left arm weapon or whatever, and it would just, like, aid in the overclocking or whatever, and you could use it twice. But then you wouldn't be able to have anything in your left arm. Like, the way that the Verdict Day did it, sometimes you would just blow your own arm off. Like, it would just literally shoot right off. Like, you overclocked your AC so much you're literally shooting parts off. So, you know, that was really... Oh, come on. Let me move. Not even funny. You're not funny, Gabe. Come on. But yeah, so it was really cool how they did it there. I wish they would have done it in some of the better games, but whatever. I mean, Verdict Day was fun. Just... I don't know. I probably would end up playing it more if it was on PC. I really don't feel like dragging the PS3 out. It's currently in dusty retirement, so it gets dragged out to play an occasional Blu-ray, that's about it. Yeah, I'm kind of burned out at this point. Not gonna lie. That's fine. This means the next attempt will be a bit more solid. And hey, if somebody's stuck around this long... Hi. Oh man. See, like, look at that. It's like I can go faster than you the whole time, and I can do my bladings at the end of it. So dumb. So dumb. Like, I can't even recover by the time he gets another shot going. Fly forever. That's why I was saying it's only overpowered if somebody's doing this. Because he can stay in the air and just keep spamming it. Normally, like I said, the weight of that thing alone would be enough to dissuade you from staying in the air for a while, at least not with this kind of speed. Hang on. One moment. And I'm back again. Okie dokie. Alright. Yeah? Yeah, I'm kind of getting the hang of that dropping shot. He actually does have a set spot that he lands on. How about that? Practice that some more. I've gotten it before. And round, and there we go. Rocket punch in the dick! And then get rained on by linear shots for a billion years! Because he doesn't have any limitations. Alright. I was trying to play in the water bowl. Had to warn them off that, didn't want to blow off any eardrums. Alright. No, got something on him. That felt like it should have hit. Another one that was close. That was my fault. Okay. Really sucks that the only rockets with a decent fire rate aren't even functional. Like, small rockets are completely worthless in LR. And if you think, oh yeah, no, maybe they're good for stun locking, no, they're not. Hang on. Give me just a moment here. Back once more. I actually feel like I've actually done a pretty okay amount of hurt on him. Not gonna be enough, I'm sure, but I can try, dang it, if he'll just let me leave. Go away, you absolute dingus. Why are you such a dick? He's as fast as the plot needs him to be. Or the game in this case. Doesn't matter that his legs are frickin' broken. He's as fast as he needs to be. Oh my god, dude. Hey, you can just catch up. You can just catch up. He's so cute. So cool, you guys, look. He can move, his legs broken. Oh man. What a cool guy. Sure glad this thing takes 45 years to reload. Cool. Alright. Got a cool guide. Missed. And what a complete load of bullcrap. That's fine though. Yeah, people wanted no edits. Here's no edits. This is what no edits looks like. This is why I edits. I'm sure the first comment of this will be, "Dear God, please go back to editing." Why did you do this? At which point I can actually just go back and probably edit in whenever the final winning attempt is. Like, oh yeah, look, I totally did it first try. This is nice. I like that do-do-do kind of sound. Okay. Still a potentially winnable scenario. It's just a matter of if he lets me get away from him. Because I can't really even aim properly with him in my face. Alright, yeah, no. Starting to feel inviable. I'm switching over to these. Those hand rockets are annoying me. Oh. Put the guys up. Okay. It's time for me to cut this off. So, alright, thank you if you bothered to stick around this long, and have a good day.